have been used to standing outside the building in the street listening to her and just admiring her playing. And she still plays every day.
To the residents of this small apartment building in North London, Alice Summer is the lady in number 6.
My world is music. I am not interested in anything else.
Alice lives alone. She still has her health, and at 109 she feels she's the luckiest person alive. Alice receives visitors every afternoon.
I always thought this was a silly person, a dope.
Friends who come to hear her stories and maybe learn from her experience.
I love people. I love everyone. I love people. I love to speak with them. I'm interested in the life of other people. Mostly I start to play at 10 o'clock. And when the people in the house listen to my playing, now it's 10 o'clock, she plays. This is Bach. I'm full of joy. In my house, for instance, when I go with this, I go as an invalid. I'm the only one who is laughing. Nobody laughs here in this house.
Alice was born in Prague in 1903. She grew up amongst many of the foremost creative minds of the day. Mahler and Kafka were family friends.
When I was 10 years old, my mother took me to a concert, the first performance of the Second Symphony of Mahler. It was in Vienna, and Mahler was sitting there, and my mother went to him and they spoke together. So I spoke actually a little bit with Gustav Mahler.
As a young girl, she'd be asked to play the piano for famous artists who'd stop by to visit her parents.
Franz Kafka. He was a friend of my mother, I could say. She spoke with him for hours, asking him what he is writing, what he is loving. He was our friend. And sometimes he took myself and my twin sister and we went for walks. He told us stories which I forgot, but I remember the atmosphere. Made a deep impression. My opinion is what we learn in school, it is important, but much more important is the atmosphere, intellectual atmosphere of your parents in your home. This goes with you till your end. Beethoven. He is a miracle. His music is not only melody, what is inside. What is inside, how it's filled, it's full, it's intensive. Phenomenal.
Inspired by her musical heroes, Alice decided on a concert career. She sought out the legendary pianist Arthur Schnabel. Had she made the right choice?
I wanted to know his opinion about my level. And I played to him and he said, you can't learn with me, you can't learn anything else.
Alice's life became a whirlwind of rehearsals and concerts. Then one day, a particular violinist caught her eye.
Leopold. We called him Butzi. He was an extraordinary violinist, and he knew languages perfect, and everything he knew. I was in love with his knowledge. We married in 1937, and I told to my husband, now we are married. In the evening when we came home, now we are married. In the moment when you will find another woman who you like more, we stay friends. It's okay. There are thousands and thousands of beautiful women in the world. I will be very sad, of course, but you can do it.
It was 1937, and these were the best of times for Alice. She married the man she loved, she was becoming a musical celebrity, and with the birth of her son, she had it all.
My son, Raphael, he was maybe 3 years old, not yet. Sitting the whole day, he loved, in this time was gramophone. And suddenly it comes to an enormous fortissimo. And the boy, he was 3 years old, started to cry. And I asked, why do you cry? The music is so beautiful. Oh, it's good. With music, I was always happy. I am happy even without music. Even thinking of music made me happy. One of the greatest philosophers said, music is in the first place of art. It brings us on an island with peace, beauty, and love. Music is a dream. Music is a dream.
Alice had been living her dream until it came time for everyone's dreams to end.
Here is my best friend, born as well in Prague and brought up in Prague and so on. Let her speak about it.
The day was 15th of March 1939. It was a Wednesday. My father was calling us, we were 3 children, about 6 o'clock in the morning, in an excited voice which was rare for him. Come children, come quickly to the window. It was like an earthquake. Thousands of German motorcycles with iron helmets rumbled through for hours. But soon after, we realized Czechoslovakia was taken over and Nuremberg laws started to be implemented against the Jews. My father had to sign off his whole business, that he's giving it away out of free will. The radios have been confiscated, domestic animals have been confiscated, my dog. How do you explain it to the dog? There is a German invasion and he has to go with them and can't stay at home. You know, these are the little details in life that are so difficult.
Every day the Jews of Prague endured new humiliations. Even Alice's daily walk in the park with Rafi was forbidden.
For mothers it was very difficult, but I played.
Even on pain of death. To the Nazis, music was a luxury for non-Jews only. So Alice's beloved concert ground had been taken away. But in an act of quiet resistance, she hid her tiny piccolo piano. To Alice, being able to play meant everything, even at the risk of betrayal.
In my house were living 4 Nazi families. I believe my boy was playing with their boy in the street. They were good friends. In any case, I played a lot at this time. And once the woman who take care of our house came and said to me, Mrs. Sommer, Mr. Hermann, the name of this German man, asked me, suddenly you didn't play. Why? He asked me whether you are already deported. He told me he loved your playing. And this time I didn't play, but when she said he loved it, I was already sitting. But before our deportation, he came. Frau Sommer, they will send you away. It's difficult to find the right words for me. I was sitting for hours and hours and listening and enjoyed your playing. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You helped us to get over the hard time we went through as a German.
While the whole world went mad around her, Alice could still see the humanity in individual Germans, though she and her people had become officially less than human. One by one, everyone in her life, every Jew in Prague was being taken away.
My father, when the Gestapo came to arrest him, he was standing at the door in his coat with his hat in his hand, looked us over, it was dinner time, and said only these words, just stay calm. Remember, calmness is strength. And they pushed him out and that was the end. And this sentence sort of stayed with me. And it works. It is true, calmness is strength.
My mother was sent away. And I was till her last moment with her. Very hard for me, for her. We didn't know about where they were sent away. We didn't know what will happen with them. It was a hard time.
Despite the freedom Alice gave Leopold on their wedding night, he never did leave her, until the day the Nazis stole him away. Finally, they came for Alice. She was 39 when she and her little boy Rafi arrived in the strangest place in the entire concentration camp system, Theresienstadt, a feeder camp for Auschwitz, where Jewish celebrities and intellectuals were used by the Nazis for propaganda purposes. These images were filmed to show the world how well the Jews of Europe were being treated. Starving prisoners were allowed to compose and give concerts.
I knew that we will play. And I was thinking, when we can play, it can't be so terrible. The music. Here they are.
So how is it going?
My Sunday friend. She comes every Sunday.
Zdenka and Anita stopped by regularly to visit their friend. A pianist, an actress and a cellist. They all survived the camps.
But every day in life is beautiful. Every day. That we are here. We can speak about everything. Not? It's beautiful.
In Theresienstadt, Alice played over 100 concerts, performing all of Chopin's etudes from memory.
That was my first time actually I have had all Chopin's etudes. And I remember Alice sitting on the stage. I was in about third row and saw her from the right profile. And I was quite captivated. It was magic to hear this music in that kind of surrounding, which you don't realize until it's over. So you come sort of back to earth and see where you are and how much it was a moral support. It was not entertainment, as most people think, that we were having fun. It had a much bigger value.
I felt that this is the only thing which helps me to have hope. It is sort of religion actually. Music is God. In difficult times you feel it, especially when you are suffering.
Alice's faith in music was an inspiration to her son, Raffi. He sang in Theresienstadt's children's opera Brundibar. And, sustained by his mother's natural optimism, he too survived.
We are sleeping on a mattress. He felt my body. When a child is near to the mother, everything can happen. He is not afraid. It gives him a security. And I was always laughing. Even there I was laughing.
So the people who were sitting in the audience and we on stage, we were transported into a different time. The time before, when we lived in a normal civilized life, civilized world, and hoping and being convinced that the war will soon finish, and we'll go back home and it will go on. But of course, what we knew later, the Germans knew full well that we are sentenced to death and thought, let them play, let them laugh, the laughter will soon vanish from their face. And we were dancing under the gallows.
There were beautiful moments there. I knew that even in this very difficult situation, there are beautiful moments. It doesn't exist anything in our world only bad. Even the bad is beautiful, I would say. Even the bad is beautiful. When you know where to look for. It has to be. When you are knowing that you will play in the evening, a concert, and people, old, terribly ill people came to this concert and became young. It is a mystery that when the first tone of music starts, it goes straight away in our soul. I loved to play the number 1 and 2 Etude by Chopin. The number 1 is in C major. Yeah, the C major is not so quick, but number 2 is quick. The hand is closed, chromatic, very quick.
But it wasn't just the prisoners who drew strength from Alice's music. Even the camp guards listened, stealing a few precious moments, perhaps remembering the way life used to be.
Some of them were standing next to the window and enjoying the music. Afterwards, one of them told me, "You always are standing here and listening to your music." Sometimes it happens that I am thankful to have been there, because this gave me I am richer than other people. My reaction on life is quite another one. All complain, this is terrible, it's not so terrible.
My father always used to say the very wise words, put as much as you can into your heads, because that's something nobody can take away from you. And I think that is so very, very true. And I think this is where music comes in, the importance of music, because you can actually have music in your head without anybody knowing it is happening. You can actually go into another world, which is a lot nicer than the world we're actually living in. I can say without hesitation that the cello saved my life, because I knew what was going on in Auschwitz. So I arrived in Auschwitz really preparing to go in the gas chamber. I mean, that was Auschwitz, was gas chambers. Instead of that, when I arrived there, it's a sort of ceremony, people take your clothes off you and shave your head and tattoo a number on your arm. And this is all done by prisoners. And one of these said, what's going on? How long is the war going? Will it soon be over? So the president, what's your name and where do you come from and what did you do before you were arrested? And like an idiot, I said, I used to play the cello. I mean, really ridiculous thing to say. And she said, oh, fantastic, you'll be saved. So I became a member of this orchestra, which was a completely life-saving, because as long as they wanted music, they couldn't put us in the gas chamber. I mean, there's a certain amount of logic in the Germans. The famous Dr. Mengele, who was interested in experiments on twins, much feared man, because, we were just like guinea pigs, it's wonderful. You can actually experiment on humans, so you don't have to have guinea pigs. And he came into the block. That was another thing. You see, during the day, anybody could walk into the music block and ask for something. We didn't just play marches, we played all sorts of what were pop songs in those days, and arias from operettas, and And he wanted to hear the Träumerei by Schumann, and that was on my repertoire. So I played the Träumerei by Schumann to Dr. Mengele. Completely ludicrous situation. God knows what he's just been doing before he came in and wanted to hear the Träumerei, to destroy himself a bit. You know, the more you think about it, the more you talk about it, the more macabre the whole thing is.
I think most people, when they hear the word Holocaust, see only two things: gas chambers and the number of 6 million, and nothing in between. But it was everything in between. Survival was, in a nutshell, a matter of your attitude to the situation. And the situation changed every 5 minutes. And even when it was at the end, Bergen-Belsen, I was lying dying amongst 300 corpses. Nobody took them out. And the rest looked like corpses, were still breathing. It never occurred to me that I could be one of them. Never. I never felt like a victim. I felt more like an observer. I felt it has nothing to do with me. I just happen to be here, and I have to take it as it comes. Survival is a very complex matter. You don't learn it. It comes to you spontaneously. When you were really down in the hell and come up again, you have learned what matters in life and what doesn't. And what matters is very few things. Life matters, human relationships, and that's about it. The rest is not important. One can live without. And because of this, it has enriched my life. And I'm grateful for that experience. I can say that.
Loads of grandchildren, you know, any trouble, you go to grandma. But basically, everybody is alone in the world.
Of course.
In the end, we are all alone.
We are born alone, we die alone. And I feel if during the lifetime we find somebody who can walk with us part of the way, then we are already lucky. Until it comes to a crossroad, then he's gone. So one should be grateful for the time that that person was with you, walking with you, part of the life, and say thank you.
My son, I can't tell you how beautiful my life through this child was.
After the war, Alice and Rafi left Europe for Israel, where he followed his mother's example, making his career in music. For almost 50 years, celebrated cellist Raphael Sommer performed all around the world.
He had a concert in Israel on Tuesday. In the evening he didn't feel well, so they took him into the hospital. They gave him anesthesia, you know what it is, and he died. So he was 64 years old. He didn't suffer. He didn't know that he will die. And it's a privilege. I have to be thankful he didn't die. He didn't suffer. He didn't know what it is to be old. In this age, you are not yet old. 64. On Tuesday he didn't know that on Wednesday he will die without pains. This is the greatest miracle and privilege, and I am thankful every day, 100 times. It depends on me whether life is good or not. On me. Not on life, on me. Everything is good, bad. I look at the good side.
I think perhaps we don't take life for granted. It was given to us twice. Once we were born and then we didn't die, contrary to the intention of the Germans, and we had another chance. I suppose maybe we used it more consciously. Didn't just take it for granted. Well, you live in this world and we are very depressed and whatever people indulge in.
Even today, Alice relentlessly practices the music that she loves. After a century at the keyboard, she's still searching for perfection.
Without work you can't achieve anything. Millions and millions of hours working on what you love. When you love something, work and work and work and work and work. A lot of German journalists come and want to know, speak with me and so on. Before they enter my room, they ask, are we allowed to enter your room? Do you not hate us? So my answer is, I never hate and I will never hate. Hatred brings only hatred. You should thank Bach, Beethoven, to Brahms, to Schubert, to Schumann. They gave us beauty, they gave us indescribable beauty. They made us happy.
The remarkable Alice Sommer, at 109, the oldest Holocaust survivor in the world.
Only when we are so old, only we are aware of the beauty of life.